Hey there, this is Arnold, and I'm going to tell you how to do a perfect me, a perfect Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. Hi there, my name is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I do the perfect Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. In fact, Arnold Schwarzenegger himself came to me and he said, Arnold, you do that perfectly. You do that better than I do. Tell me, how can I do it so I can sound as good about myself as you sound about me right now? Okay, so I'm going to tell you about how to do that, but first I'm going to talk like a normal person. All right, so my name is Michael William Denney, aka Mahadeva, and I have a YouTube channel here. You can see all those of me, thunderwizard.com YouTube channel. And one of the things I do in my channel just for fun is I do an Arnold Schwarzenegger character. Now, I honestly believe that I am the best Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonator in existence. And that's okay if you don't think that, but I do. And the reason for that is not because I am necessarily an impersonator, because I'm not. There's a lot of people I can't do. You know, if I try and copy just somebody's voice, I can't always do it. Sometimes, but not always. What I can do is I know how to do accents very well. And here's the thing, if you want to learn how to do Arnold, you have to learn how to do accents. Because Arnold is an accent unto himself. If you try and just learn a German accent or an Austrian accent and then try and do Arnold, it won't work. Because Arnold has his own universe in how he experiences life. Now, as I said, I used to do accents and I did characters. And when I was an actor and a comedian, I remember really wanting to do Arnold because he was so funny. And the thing about Arnold really is that he's just very funny. He doesn't even try to be funny. It doesn't matter what he's saying. He can be reading the encyclopedia, and he can be honestly trying to read the encyclopedia as bland as possible. But just because he's Arnold, it's going to be hilarious. And so there's a couple little things you can do to tweak it and make it even more hilarious, and this is what I do. And it's a lot of fun. In fact, if I'm in a bad mood, all I have to do is just start talking like Arnold, and before I know it, I'm having a good time. Because it's hard to be Arnold and not be really passionate about everything. Life is really important, and it's just funny. So, let me tell you about how to do accents. Accents are not trying to mimic. So, if you're an actor or you want to be an impersonator, and you want to mimic somebody, it's not going to work. Because you have to understand that everybody is trying to talk as normally as possible. Nobody is trying to mispronounce anything. So when it comes to accents, accents aren't people mispronouncing things. So in other words, you don't look at a word here and you say, oh, well, a British guy is going to drop his H's and he's going to flatten out his R's. If you go after that, then all that's going to happen is you're going to do a horrible British accent with an American accent if you happen to be an American. If you're trying to do a Cockney accent, you don't say, well, Cockneys drop their H's and their T's. Then all you're going to be doing is whenever you want to say, like come here, you're going to say come here. And you're going to drop your H and it's going to sound ridiculous. The thing is that a Cockney guy is trying to say his H's the same way that you are. He's trying to say his T's the same way you are. So the question is, why does a Cockney guy drop his R's and his H's? If he's trying to say it exactly the same way I am, then why does that happen? Well, what I learned is that accent is about where you place the sound. Where the sound is being placed in your mouth or in your head is going to determine how consonants and vowels are pronounced. Once you lock into the perfect location and place the sound in the perfect location, it doesn't matter what you say. It'll come out perfectly. So Arnold, what did it for me is that I was trying to do a German accent. Now I was doing your typical, stereotypical German accent from all of the movies that you watch when you was little kid. And there was this Nazi person, and he says to you, we have ways of making you talk. I overdid it a little bit, but you can see it. So if I pick this up and I read this in English, it says, you're in the driver's seat. If I am doing this Nazi person here who talks like this, then I'm going to say, you're in the driver's seat. And when I say it like that, it becomes very interesting. So you're in the driver's seat. Let me take note of that. That driver's seat, very important. So where you place the sound is going to make you think differently and feel differently. I mean, if you learn how to speak Spanish, for instance, and you learn how to speak with a good accent, it's very hard not to be a very passionate person. It's just because of just where you place the sound in your face. Now, when it comes to Arnold, I tried to do a German, and every time I was trying to do a German and trying to mimic Arnold, it just didn't work, and I was so frustrated. So I stopped trying to mimic Arnold through a German accent, and I started all over, and I started listening to how he talked. And he did some things that were different, I'm assuming because he's Austrian, than the typical German accent. And one is, the Germans, when they are talking, their R's come out R. That is a red shirt you are wearing there. Now, Arnold doesn't do that. He doesn't make his R's like that. So that's why he doesn't sound like a Nazi. And so when I tried to do a Nazi, and I tried to make it sound like Arnold, it didn't work. Obviously, some things are the same, but not everything. What is going on here? So what I did was I listened for the things he did different. He trilled his R's. He didn't have a guttural R like the French or the Germans. He trilled his R's. Now that is usually like Spanish or Eastern European or something like that. Those people trill their R's. So all I did was I listened for that, and then when I changed the sound in my voice to a place where I could keep some of the German sounding accent and be able to trill my R's, it locked in. And there was Arnold. There it was. I don't remember what the word was. It was a word that he said, and I had to trill my R's, and there it was. It was right there. You hear the R's. It's because now there's more sound coming out of my face. So that means that he's still doing kind of a German accent, but it's larger. And then it's more room for his tongue to make the R sound. And that was it. That what made it for me. And then when I found the placement, I didn't have to worry about it. Yeah? And that's the great thing about accents, is that when you learn where to place it, it doesn't matter. You don't have to try and memorize how they say this or how they say that. In fact, if you are doing that, you listen for, like, they say something interesting. Well, he said that word, like, I'm trying to third eye, third. If he says third, it comes out like that. So I would listen for that, and I said, where would I have to put the sound in my face for it to come out like that? Third. There it is. Arnold, my third eye opened. So you can do that with any accent. And the great thing is you don't have to try and memorize it. So the other thing about Arnold is that when I found that placement, I understood why Arnold basically was the way he was. Whether the accent makes his personality or whether his personality determines his accent, I don't know. Arnold, everything is very serious. Everything is very intense. Everything is a crisis. And as long as you understand that, then you will be able to take the Arnold accent, if you know exactly where to place it, then you can add the intensity of everything is a crisis to it, and then just make sure that that's part of everything that you say. And then it won't matter what you're talking about. You'll be hilarious. Because even if what you're saying isn't funny, like the words, if you were to print them out, they wouldn't be funny. Just the way his accent combined with everything is a crisis, it always comes out funny. Because everything is to the extreme with him. And so what's happening is you're talking about something that's not a big deal. But because it's a big deal to him, And because he talks funny, it's hilarious to listen to. To give you an example, I'm just going to read this here. This is a pamphlet from a rental car company. So if I read it in English, it says, "You're in the driver's seat. We're always looking for new ways to help our customers. So please give us a steer if there's anything more we can do for you." What a stupid thing. Give us a steer? What a stupid thing to say. Sorry, who wrote that? So please give us a steer if there's anything more we can do for you. Delivering great service is what drives us, right? Not a big deal. Remember, Arnold is already funny just because he talks funny, but now put in that everything is a crisis, and then here's what happens. You're in the driver's seat. Now before, being in the driver's seat was a good thing, but now being in the driver's seat means that there are red ants in there, it's on fire, and it happens to be sitting on the portal to the dimension, to the worst possible hell anybody could ever be in. And now you're strapped in. You're in the driver's seat. So with that understanding that everything is intense and everything is a crisis, and just because he talks funny, it doesn't matter what you say, it's going to make you laugh. And I'll prove it to you because I'm going to read the rest of what I just read to you. But I'm just going to remember how to speak in his accent and remember that everything is a crisis. And here's what happens. We're always looking for new ways to help our customers. So please give us a steer if there's anything more we can do for you. Delivering great service is what drives us. Come on, give us a steer. It's what drives us. Come on, call me. I'm waiting for you. What's wrong with you? Come on, pick up the phone. See what I mean? And you could do that with anything. I'll grab another. This is from a massage parlor that's out of business right now, thankfully. Not thankfully. I mean, unfortunately. So I'm just going to read Arnold without having looked at it. Remember what I said. Everything's a crisis. He's already funny. Our clean and spacious clinic provides a tranquil setting where you can fully relax and benefit from our many years of training and experience and receive the best massage. We provide remedial, deep tissue, sports, relaxation, aromatherapy, pregnancy and thermotherapy, hot stone massages, reflexology, Thai massage, shiatsu, acupressure and cupping. Come on, come get a massage from us. What's wrong with you? See what I mean? Everything he says just comes out crazy. Like it's just the worst possible crisis. Get to the chopper every time. So those are my tips. People have been asking me, how is it that you do such a good Arnold? So whether or not that helps you or not, I don't know. But maybe I entertained you for a few minutes while you're sitting at home waiting for the world to not come to an end. All right. Talk to you guys later.